Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, King Teliano. Is that you?
287, we out here.
This is episode 287 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. Is where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Stories, where you can get access to our first ever Mic Check Waifu commentary episode. We commentated episode 1 of Mic Check Waifu, which was 5 years ago. Very fun episode, very interesting episode. You see what our early top 5s were before we started watching damn near 115 anime a year, and get to see how we evolved, or the start of our evolution, or of this evolution, I should say, including our our very, very interesting sound audio. I apologize for it not being as good as it is now, but we here. All right. Yes, the after story is returning. It is returning. It is our bonus podcast. Check out our pre-show. You also get access to the pre-show if you're a Patreon supporter, which is up now. We talked about other TV shows like Kingdom and just a bunch of stuff. So make sure you check out the pre-show. It is on the if you're a Patreon supporter, make sure you link your Spotify to your Patreon account so you get access to the after story feed with all of our podcast episodes in video form, which is cool. I just learned that recently, that the video form of the pre-shows and the commentaries, it all goes up on Spotify. So if you rather listen to it or watch it, you can do it there on Spotify. So we appreciate y'all for supporting us. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.miccheckwaifu.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want to try to get our subscribers up. And also twitch.tv/Mic Check Waifu. We just made one last week. Got a few supporters there already. Make sure you follow our Twitch channel as well. Twitch.tv/Mic Check Waifu, because at the end of every month, we will be doing a live episode recording, and maybe, you never know, maybe we'll do some game stuff there too. Probably not, because we're gonna be doing that somewhere else. But I digress. Anyway, sorry, had to get the rigmarole out the way. Mic Check Waifu is the anime podcast brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT. We are now going to bring you the anime proper. How you feeling though?
Man, I'm good. Hear me out. I've been, so you probably know, or most of y'all probably know. So I just been posting whatever I can, bro. If I think about it, I'm trying to post it. And I posted this video on YouTube about what was it? Gilgamesh versus who was it? Gilgamesh versus
Sung Jin-woo.
Sung Jin-woo, that's who it was. Yeah. And I think Sung Jin-woo is stomping him
like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Because of what he turns into.
I'm thinking about the smarter version of Gilgamesh, not the one that everybody's used to, Archer Gilgamesh, that kind of stuff. But let me tell you how I got 40 comments on this video of people just giving information. And this is these two specific people who, this is why I love the anime community. Like I said, they are just friendly and giving information. And it reminds me of like the archivists, Christian archivists or Death Scythe. They're just people who are just giving exposition, giving information about what they know about Fate, and then what they also know about Sung Jin-woo. And they're like, well, Sung and all these kind of things, right?
Spoilers, I'll cut that out. Fuck.
Okay, my bad. But essentially, there's conversation, and I'm just like, I love the anime community so much sometimes. And all I can say is I appreciate being able, like, having this as an interest and having a brother that I can do this with and make it feel so like like natural. It's one of the easiest things to talk about, especially when you continuously find people who provide a space for that to be good conversation.
It's a lot of great fun, man. It's a lot of great fun. Speaking of the archivist, let's shout out our Patreon producers. If you support us at the Weeb tier, you get producer credits. Shout out to Christian the Archivist, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, Fear, Glazed Yams, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture, Explicitly, All for One Matt Mazer, Altor, Monique Williams, Simi Sensei, Frozen, Rob Stone, and last but certainly not least, our guy, T Money Fingers. Speaking of Fear actually has in All for One Matt, a couple of our producers have coined terms in our podcast, which is fear. Fear the highs and lows comes from every time we review a show, we have to pick our highest rated episode of that show and our lowest rated episode of that show. And you got All That Matters with All for One Matt. He gave us the idea of picking our favorite waifu and our favorite husbando each season. So shout out to y'all for doing that. Those are going to live forever regardless. And we appreciate that. And I don't know about Till, but I plan on doing this forever.
I swear to God. I swear.
As long as anime ain't canceled 100%, then I'm probably gonna be doing Mic Check Waifu. Anyway,
producing it, I'm talking about it.
I'm with that. So episodes of the week this week.
How are you doing? First of all,
I'm good, man. I'm fantastic. I'm about to get back into streaming myself because that's what I was doing full time, and then I just stopped. Yeah. I just keep disappearing. I gotta stop doing that shit. I gotta stop disappearing from Twitch. But make sure you follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/PolowBornFly.
My wife would say that's an ADHD thing.
It is, man. It is.
People, they call it eloping when they say autistic and ADHD people just leave situations, just walk away, just like nope.
Shout out to a streamer buddy of mine. She's a VTuber. Her name is Woes. She always keeps me on track. She always asks where my stream's at, and it always puts me on a. Tail does too. It always puts me on my back foot, which means that it gets me motivated to get it going again. So I'm about to start fresh again. I'm about to clear the flyer miles. I'm about to bring all that back, and we about to.
I almost won that season too, didn't I?
Well, actually, yes. I think you are the closest to winning. Actually, funny enough.
That's crazy. So I get an emote. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go on that side tangent here. I'll do that somewhere else. Anyway.
5 years later.
Yeah. Right. All right. Episodes of the week this week, Tel.
Mine is one that I haven't chosen yet. I'm getting married to a girl I hate.
Wow, my sleeper. And the one we were reviewing at the end of the season. More on that later. You know what? I'm gonna choose something different too. I have a crush at work. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about I have a crush at work. I finally watched it. Shout out to Tel for giving me the unfortunately, you got to sell the piracies to actually watch this one. If you join our Discord, there is a forum thread on where to watch it and how to watch it, unfortunately, because we are above the board when it comes to watching our anime most of the time. But unfortunately, with this particular show, it's not being shown anywhere. So you have to sell the C's in order to watch it. This show is fantastic, man. I have a crush at work. It was quite a few people sleepers in our community for this season, and it's a good one. It's about adult love, man. Adult love in the situation of them already being in love and in a relationship, and we watching that go and how that go. I have a crush at work is fantastic. It was definitely my favorite show this. Not okay. It wasn't my favorite show this week, but I wanted to make it my episode of the week this week because it needs that recognition, that love, you know.
Right. You watched the episodes back to back, so it gave you a lot of it was a lot to catch up with, but it was also a lot to enjoy. The thing is about the show, right, is that it's extremely wholesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it gives very similar vibes. What was it last season that was similar? The 365 days to wedding. Yeah. But it's almost like better in a sense because when they're together, it's definitely better. When they're together alone, they have a whole different vibe, bro. It's so like they together, they actually enjoy each other. And I actually, it's worth it to me. It's worth every second. I turn it on and it's such an enjoyable show.
Everybody that listens to this podcast know that I'm a slice of life head, and I love love, man. I love seeing love, especially when it's already completed in anime, because that's unique. Out of a lot of the slice of life, most of the slice of life I watch, there's very few that that gives us this where they're already there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A show I harken back on to that I think that's also as unique as this, in a sense, kind of, and it's still very, very atypical romance, but More Than a Married Couple. Yeah, like even though that's like the same concept with, you know, boy meets girl, they don't like each other at first and they start to like each other. However, it's done in such a unique way that I still find that to be one of the most interesting romance shows out there.
And that's what made this episode of I'm getting married to a girl I hate. That's what made it my episode of the week this week.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it.
Without going into spoilers, it is the idea that one of our characters seemingly knows what he wants or what they want, while the other one is like has been tussling and fighting with that emotional reaction.
Yeah, it's just a tug of war within herself.
Right. And I love how it was displayed in this episode, because there was a lot of and they've been building up for it, obviously, right? And it's not a subtle buildup. To me, I feel like they've been talking about this specific girl liking him the entire time. Mm-hmm. And then we get here and it's like, okay, so how does the situation play out? And I just enjoyed that interaction specifically. And that's what made me want to make an episode of the week, was that like, this is the pivot. This is the pivot I wanted. And I hope that it continues to build off of that, because man,
I was nervous. I'm gonna be honest with you too. I was super nervous that it wasn't. I thought it was just gonna be this rom-commy back and forth, tit for tat, this and that type shit that I just didn't. It wasn't gonna be fun. However, it's not that. It's more than that. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to go into spoilers with this one either. But it's more than that. So I'm looking forward to reviewing it this season. I already got an idea, and this is kind of like very premature. But I already have an idea of what I'm gonna rate a few categories. So that's interesting. Now, speaking of reviews, Till, it is the midpoint of this season. So we are calling all of our anime listeners to drop anime ideas, because there is going to be a forum thread by the time you're hearing this episode in our Discord, discord.miccheckwaifuwaifu.com. There's a forum thread of midpoint anime that we're going to review. So it's up to you to give us something that you either watched already and you want to hear our thoughts and for us to give our official review of it, or it's a show that's on your list that you also want to watch with us and we can all review it together. So give us an idea, give us any show, no matter what it is. We already have a few lists of things, but just give us whatever you can. And again, re-add the same ones you already recommended it to us. It don't matter. Just we want your ideas. So we can get the show next week, and then we review it for 289. 289. So we can review it 289, which is 2 episodes from now. So remember, give us those episodes. We're going to drop that form in the Discord. If you're Rob Stone, you can comment it on YouTube. Or if you're watching on YouTube a week later, it's actually too late. So, but just make sure you drop your anime recommendation in the comment, Rob Stone, and on our Discord if you're able, so we can review that the following week after. All right. We got quite a few reviews. Oh, also in our Discord too. I also want to mention this because this is a big deal. We also have a review scale for your use. There is a text channel in our Discord. It's at the very top of our Discord called My Tech Review Scale for your use, and it has a link to our actual review scale. You can make a copy of it and you can leave a review. Shout out to TCB, who left quite a few community reviews. He got a review in here for, it's a lot of shows. He says he loved the fact that we released this review scale because he's always wanted to use it. He got Don to Don, 365 to the Wedding reviews in there. He got I mean, negative, positive angler. We got so many reviews in there. So make sure you check out those channels and drop your reviews in there. So just because this is where we're going to use them for our show content as well. Cool. Okay, so when you are a producer of our show, you have the opportunity to give us topic ideas because you are a part of the weeb tier of our Patreon, patreon.com/MikeCheckWaifu. And this time we have a topic idea. I don't know if we've done this, but we are going to do it now again. Even if we have, I don't remember. For Mazer Altor, one of our Patreon producers, a cohort of ours, he says, topic idea: shows that flow too close to the sun and ruin itself. For example, for me, it's Darling in the Franxx. It was great, and then Aliens. I said this in the pre-show, but absolutely correct. Darling in the Franxx was such potential with the romance, and I don't like mecha anime at all, but I was enjoying Darling in the Franxx for the interaction between the students, and then what's her name? Whatever her name is, I don't even remember her name. I just kind of erased it from my memory. But yeah, Darling in the Franxx is a perfect example of something that was really good. 02. It was really fucking good, and it just kind of it flew too close to the sun. And it ended up being ass.
But so, and that's the funny part is that we all know what it did to fly too close to the sun. But I don't know what made them kind of see it to fruition that way.
I don't know either. I just don't know either. Why?
Yeah, so for instance, we have Kingdoms of Ruin, right? That flew too close to the sun. What did it do? It got too edgy.
It was a revenge story.
And the thing is that I don't mind edgy. Like we, and I'm not gonna say we enjoy Redo of Healer, but we didn't hate Redo of Healer. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. We didn't. Okay, that was a perfect way of saying it. You said it perfect. We didn't enjoy it, but we didn't hate it.
Right. We think that it was. Well, I'm gonna say I don't know exactly how you feel about this, but I feel like it was portrayed or written more consistently and better than something like Kingdoms of Ruin for a get back story. Accurate. Right?
Yeah.
But like Kingdoms of Ruin, it just starts to become this balancing act of like, I want my get back, but I'm trying to become better. I'm like indecisive on if I want to be a better person. And it got too playful with
real quick edginess. Real quick though, so because a lot of people didn't watch Kingdom of Ruin, rightfully so. So to quickly kind of sum up what Kingdoms of Ruin is, it's a story it's a revenge tale about a kid who was raised by a witch. Witches end up becoming essentially ostracized from his community and eliminated, killed, and the person who raised him was murdered by humans, like executed publicly in the most embarrassing and cruel way in front of the kid. And it was just sad. He ended up taking what he learned from that witch and utilizing that witch's power in a way that was very unique and cool at the beginning of the show. It was awesome. And his goal was to get revenge for for the woman he not only was he raised by her, but he loved her too. So he's trying to get revenge for that. And like Tell said, everything Tell said is like spot the fuck on. It started off great. He was mad. He was angry because wasn't he locked up too?
And it had a good revenge twist even. You know what I mean? Like the way it was Kingdom of Ruins, the way it chose the revenge was even good. And then it was like immediately after that. But yeah, he was locked up and was able, once he got out, it was up for everybody.
Yeah.
And it very quickly turned
campy.
Sour. Yeah.
Weird, bro. It started off so well, dude. We were like singing its praises.
We were.
What was the other show that we tweeted about the first episode after we watched it? I can't remember the name of it. You know the name of it. You said it. I think you mentioned it on the live show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe a couple of weeks ago on the other show, but it was the one that was made by the Death Note creator.
Oh, Platinum End.
Platinum End.
Yeah,
This is what this one flew so close to the sun that it made us change the way we tweet things when we are excited about a show. Episode 1 of Platinum Men, I tweeted about it because I was running a Twitter at the time. I tweeted about it and said, well, I felt like I could have, we were in sync with how we felt about it right after episode 1. We felt like it was good. Felt like it was going to be something great after that episode 1. And then episode 2, and then the rest came, and it was just awful. Yeah. It was like one of the ones where like after episode 1, just pure shit. Complete garbage. And everybody knows Platinum Man. It was popular enough.
It was very mainstream popular. And I'm still thinking about to this day that specific sequence of fights. Technically one fight.
I know
how it felt like it was 4 episodes long. Yeah. And I know it wasn't that long. It just felt like it was 4 episodes long.
God, it was so bad.
But then you also have like Promised Neverland. Which, all right, so I read Promised Neverland and people hated the ending of the manga, but hear me out. At least in the manga, we got Goldie Pond, which Polow will never experience. Polow will never experience the best arc of Promised Neverland.
Never.
Because the anime jumped over it.
And made me completely turned off.
Oh my God. And it wasn't that it just jumped over. It jumped over it, skipped directly to the ending and butchered the entire story. None of it was the same. And they paid for it. And that's wild because the fan base already disliked the ending and you made the fan base like the manga ending when they hated it already. You made them like something they hated. That's how bad it was. And that has to be the actual definition of flying too close to the sun. Yeah. Because you were like, they didn't like my story anyway, so let's just put out anything. And
so let's think about it like this. What if it was done on purpose in order to get people to buy the manga to read? To see if it was that bad. It could either positively affect the manga sales because they make more money by manga sales. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But
here's the issue.
I don't know if that was the case or not. I'm just flying too close to the sun.
Well, yeah, right. But here's the issue is that the manga sales skyrocketed before the show came out because it ended, before that. And then once this happened, if I'm not mistaken, the manga itself went like just plateaued. It did not go up anymore. Because I remember like specifically looking at this, like the actual Promised Neverland numbers, it did not go back up because they had a peak when it was getting close to the end where it got close to like One Piece. And like those sales were getting really high. And then as soon as this they released that episode, it really hit a plateau. Like as soon as they started changing the story, it was like, oh no. But it could have been a great tactic. It could have been a great tactic if it was releasing side by side.
Side by side. Now that is an interesting way of thinking about it. Because if it was done side by, it has a 51% on Annie list.
It deserves it.
It is so crazy to see anime community unified on something, to be honest. And do you think was it let me see here. No, I'm about to say something crazy, but was it Cloverworks' fault? I don't even like to say that.
No, because I don't think Cloverwork.
I mean, they animated it, but they didn't produce it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they changed the story. I think it was the actual story manga creator who changed the story.
Interesting.
So I don't think it was their fault whatsoever. It was literally just.
How do you ruin something that had such potential? And I mean, everybody loved it, including myself. What we saw was just
that first season was phenomenal.
It's everything I wanted. Season 1 is everything I wanted Heavenly Delusion to be. Bro. Heavenly Delusion tried to be Promised Neverland and failed to us. Okay. But it just failed. I'm about to expose Legend D Vash. He gave it a 7. Yeah, the fuck right. 7 Promised Neverland season 2. Ain't no chance in hell is that.
Ain't no way. Not season 2.
Not season 2. Another thing that flew close to the sun that after season 1 broke my fucking heart, and that's Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. Now, yes, and that's what makes me scared to read the Tokyo Ghoul manga.
I don't want to.
Well, I do want to get there at one point, but I remember watching, what was it, Tokyo Ghoul Re?
Ugh.
And I'm like, this is a cool change in the character in Kaneki, but it was also like, where did this come from like this rapidly? And there was so much contrast that it didn't feel right. The story was no longer there.
Yeah. There's a couple of articles.
It was all over the place.
There's a couple of articles that says Tokyo Ghoul could be getting a remake. And it'll be clear as 2025 will unfold. So there is a lot of speculation that it is getting redone. So if that's the case,
sometimes it's needed, bro.
And this is absolutely needed. If it's redone and just simply because my cousin loved the manga, hate the show. And if it goes to the show or to the manga, I think we're going to be okay. Because I heard nothing but great things about the manga, but I want to see this. I want to see it animated properly. Like Tokyo Ghoul is one that I feel like watching would be way better. So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Now I do see one that's funny here. Mazer Alter mentioned Blue Lock.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So what made it fly too close to the sun? Was it the constant still shots, the screenshots that just sliding past the screen?
It was
because we were done. We were done. And I love that we were able to agree on that. And then the second season releases, and literally people are calling it. What do they call it?
I forgot. A PowerPoint.
PowerPoint anime. But then they said they saved all of that animation budget for like the final 2 episodes. And I was like, come on, man. I gotta watch trash. Literal still shots until I get to the final 2 episodes.
If 75% or if 85% of your anime is bad, your anime is bad.
Facts.
That's just how it goes. So that reminds me, bro, like it's just thinking about it. Now let's go to kind of the popular ones that we know that people won't like to hear us say, and that the community will wholeheartedly disagree with. And that's okay. You're allowed to disagree with our opinions. These are our opinions, not necessarily yours, but when we express our opinions, we give valid reasons for why we have our opinion. And one that flew close to the sun, Tel mentioned it in the pre-show, but I'm going to mention it here, and that's Attack on Titan. And no, it has nothing to do with the ending. I am perfectly okay with the end of Attack on Titan. I enjoyed the ending as the best part of what I got from Attack on Titan. However, everything in between that, from season 3 and then 4, and then 4 part 1, and then 4 part 2, and then 4 part 6, and then 4 part 3, all of the Attack on Titan anime at the end, and I read it as well too, but all of it that I watched at the end was utter trash. And and the reason why it was trash for me is because I coveted characters being the most important piece of an anime story, and some say rightfully so, some say deserve, some say whatever y'all want to say. I beg to differ, but whatever. The characters in season 1 and 2 of Attack on Titan were some of the most interesting, well fleshed out characters that I thoroughly enjoyed to watch them grow. Then in season 3 and 4, they completely regress and turn into nothing characters. They turn into one-liner characters, and I understand it's suffering, it's pain and suffering. They are emotionally drained, whatever the situation may be for these characters. I get with the story beat of it. However, for it to be as drastic and as unfortunate, and it's not just for Eren. Okay,
yeah, it's for everybody.
That's one that I understood him becoming what he became. But I'm talking about every single character within that show became a fucking cardboard box. It's like watching cardboard boxes just talk on screen. about bullshit. And it's just, it wasn't good. Even characters that were more interesting and fun and funny, yeah, it lost their luster. I get it. Sad times, depressing times, but it was still character that they had that completely regressed. And I end up hating the show because of it. I don't like Attack on Titan, even though at one point Attack on Titan was in my top 10. If you go back and listen to somewhere in the early episodes of my check, it was in there for a little bit. So yeah, I know that's not a popular take, but that is my reasoning for not liking Attack on Titan and thinking it flew too close to the sun with its characters and fucking completely turned them into cardboard boxes.
And I mean, facts. I would like to mention one that Polow mentioned before the podcast actually started, was My Hero Academia. And I just had someone ask me, is anyone excited to watch the My Hero Academia sequel? And it's like
the Vigilante shit.
And here's the thing is, I read some of Vigilante, and I'm just gonna say no. And I'm saying no, not because Vigilante is bad, because what I read from Vigilante was actually pretty interesting to me. What sucks about it is the fact that I already know what the writing ends up with, if that makes sense. And it's not the My Hero Academia manga was so much better to me that I'm not watching the anime. And it's not, I can't even say it's the animator's fault. What I can say is that maybe the story itself does not translate well to the animation.
And I hear the opposite.
The pacing, and I understand that too, but I'm feeling like the pacing or something does not translate well, because I have found zero interest in the anime, and I've read anime or read manga and watched anime and been like, I enjoy this so much better. I have enjoyed this more. Even for like things like One Piece, where I've read 1,000 chapters, when I get to episode 1,000, I'm seeing it animated. It was enjoyable. So to me, it's not so much the story itself, is more the way that the anime is putting it together and depicting it. I feel like even how how they pace the fights, they're not putting the same like time stops or history points when they're giving you like the backstory and stuff. It's not even in the same spot. They're mixing it up and jumbling it up in a lot of ways, and it's like I'm actually not enjoying My Hero Academia anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on My Hero Academia too, because I feel the same way he does in a sense, like as just an anime watcher. And I know it's not popular, but funny enough, somebody on my friends list, my Annie list, Mike Heru, he actually completed My Hero season 7 and we rated it 5.5. Yeah, I just don't. I was so uninterested in this, and it's a lot going on. Like there's stuff happening within this season that I'm supposed to be intrigued by it, because my problem was like earlier seasons. I think it started to get bad for me. What was it? What season was that we rated? Was that 5?
Okay, let's see.
Or was 5? Was 5? No, 6 was the good one. I think it was like 4 and 5 or something like that were just not great, because again, that was another one of the prime example of being 85% of your anime being bad, and then the last 15 or whatever.
The season with overhaul.
Yep. The last 15% of that season was great, but most of it was terrible, and that's just real. Like if you talk about the overall, if you talk about the overhaul season, everybody only talks about the overhaul part and there's nothing else. They forget that it was other shit in that season, but I digress.
My Hero Academia season 4, we rated a 7.9.
Yeah, that's high. Maybe that was a good one. Maybe 5 was the bad one, but whatever. Anyway, the point is that it was a great early run of it, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. And again, if you listen to our commentary episode, it was in my top 5. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I feel like it's being dragged for the sake of dollars. It could have ended 3 seasons ago, and it would have been perfectly fine if they did. But because of money, it kept going. And because it kept going, I'm like, ugh. And watching it, I was watching it week to week, so that probably made it worse too. But watching the way they drag out these fights and the way things happen and how many times you got to kill one villain and for it to keep coming back over and over and over and over again from some crazy plot device that is just so, it's getting childish and tasteless and boring. It was boring the fuck out of me. I never even finished season 7. To put it in perspective, I got to episode 14 and just stopped. I just couldn't do it anymore and didn't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna finish it, but go ahead.
For season 4, which is the one that we rated 7.9, what do you remember about that season? Just to ask, I just want to know.
I don't remember
the overhaul
anything.
Season.
The overhaul fight.
That's it.
That's the only thing I remember.
After the overhaul fight,
I don't.
So overhaul fight was episode 11, 12. Okay, it was like 10, 11, 12. There was 12 more episodes after that.
Damn, that's crazy.
That they had the festival, and then they had to fight with Gentle.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't remember it. I remember it now that you mentioned it, but Jesus Christ, it was awful.
So 7.9 might be a little high.
Might be a little high.
It might have got some recency bias because I feel like the Gentle part of that was actually better. Was what mostly saved it. But
oh really? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what I'm saying though. If you don't remember it, there had to be a saving grace. And I remember you speaking relatively harshly about everything leading up to the overhaul, because the overhaul part was like episode 3 to overhaul.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? They had
awful.
2 episodes of prep and then they was in there. And then it took the festival. They gave us a little precursor to Deku and his abilities and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, bro, hear me out. Too close to the sun, because you literally cannot remember. And I was thinking, like, I don't remember what happened immediately after that. But that was only 12 episodes in.
I think a lot of people got rose-colored glasses when it comes to My Hero, and that's fine. You can have rose-colored glasses with that. But I do see a lot of people on our side with it too. This is, while My Hero is very popular, it is one of the ones that I feel like, outside of the rose-colored glasses blinded folks, they kind of feel us on what we saying with this one, which is strange. Because I thought it was going to be one I got hate on, specifically because I fucking hate it. Hated on it a lot. Like I kind of dogged My Hero quite a bit, but I mean, I guess it was warranted for the most part. And I mean, yeah, those are our popular ones that flew too close to the sun. I feel like that's a good list of stuff that just ruined itself, unfortunately. Thanks, Mazer Alter, for that idea. Remember, if you are a Patreon producer and you join our Discord, there is a channel just for you where you could drop topic ideas or segment ideas. Those Patreon producers gave us those segment ideas, and that's why we have them. We appreciate that. So remember, join the Discord, discord.miccheckwife.waifu, and then support us on Patreon.
I'm dying.
What happened?
When you said drop, I was thinking Drake drop.
What he flew too close to the sun. Okay, let's get to know Mike Check Waifu. This is part of the podcast where we roll a random number generator and read a question associated with that number so you can get to know us better and our anime taste and whatnot.
You're on the number this time, brother.
All right. The number is 89.
89? Oh my goodness. What is your favorite anime with mystery or detective plot?
Ron Detective 1. No.
Really?
You know what? No, I'm lying. I'm lying like fuck.
Because if you don't say what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna trip out.
What's my favorite one? Oh, Apothecary Diaries.
That's exactly
what the fuck am I thinking? It's the best show, one of the best shows ever.
Yeah. Apothecary Diaries is also what I was going to say. I was like, I'm going to let you go ahead and go.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Yeah, brother. Apothecary Diaries is the one.
All right. What we spoiling this week, Tell?
We got Honey Lemon Soda and Dr.Stone. What order you want to do that in?
We only doing those two? What about Blue Lock? Let's give Blue Lock a taste. Did you watch Blue Lock?
No, I have not watched Blue Lock.
Blue Box.
Oh, Blue Box. I did watch Blue Box.
I'm bugging. Because we mentioned it earlier. That's why I said Blue Lock. Let's do Blue Box. Let's give Blue Box some love too, because I think it deserves it.
All right, let's do Blue Box, bro.
We'll be right back after these.
There's a silence we hold between us, and I know it's because of me. And you echo with your indifference, but I think I know you better than that. I owe you apology, and I'm missing synchronicity. So if you can make peace with me, we can take it from there. 'Cause you're
And welcome back to 287. Well, mic check, waifu. Hey, check out the live show. The live show is live on YouTube and it's live on our Patreon, our podcasting apps as well. Check out the live show. It's a good time. We do, I don't know what I was about to say there. I'd lost my train of thought. Anyway, welcome back to the show. This is Spoiler Talk, where we spoil shows or episodes of shows that we want to discuss in detail. So if you haven't watched Dr.Stone, season 4, I never know what season it is. It's the 4th season. Season 4, episode 4. Turn off. We'll see you next week. All right, Till. Season 4, episode 4. How you feeling, Till? You wanted to spoil this one, so I gotta get your thoughts real quick on how you feeling.
So I had a specific thought about this, and this episode is everything I hate and love about Dr. Stone. So I was watching this episode, and I'm like, damn, this is the last season, and we got characters that. And this is what kills me is that we'll get characters that have a semblance of like
interesting intrigue.
Their intrigue, not necessarily unique because he does seem like a pseudo Senku, but an adult version, right? So there's still some kind of uniquity there, and it's like, why is this the final season? I almost feel like we needed more time to let this flesh out, but it's like
I disagree.
I understand because I feel the same, right? I don't want too much, but it's also like, damn, why didn't it start good like this? Like, why didn't it feel like this was the start? Like we're about to be at episode 5 and we're just now getting to this part that's good, and we're gonna be halfway through the anime.
I hate to burst the bubble that you just, because you were spitting, you were telling them. It's like usual, but remember, Crystal told us last week that this is only part 1 of the 4th season.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a 3-part.
It's gonna be a 3-parter.
Brother.
So yeah, we get 12 now, probably another 12 later, and then probably another 12 after that. So yeah, while this is the final season, there is some parts to it.
Okay, yeah.
So everything you said is still poignant, because why would they do that? Introduce these interesting characters, but I disagree with it only because not only are we getting these parts, but I disagree with it for the most part is because we don't want Dr. Stone to fly too close to the sun. I am so happy that this is the final season because it's not going to overstay its welcome. Even though it's popping off, it's popular. People love Dr. Stone and it can sell so much. They're ending it, and that's why I love fucking. I love what Demon Slayer is doing. Like perfect time to just wrap up these 3 movies and be done and be over. Don't fly too close to the sun and ruin yourself like My Hero did. Don't overdo it. Don't overstay your welcome. And I think this is absolutely perfect. Now, this episode was this episode was the absolute best episode of Dr. Stone.
Facts.
This season for sure. Now, what I don't like about it is I hate that Genya is lying about who the scientist is. Like, not that he's lying about who the scientist is, but he lied at the fact that it wasn't like somebody like Tsukasa. Yeah. Like, why would he say Tsukasa? You know what I mean? That just kind of like, I'm like, why? Like, I get it. Taiju is cool, he's strong, sure, but he's also
like the least intelligent.
He's the least able to lie. Like, this motherfucker can't lie to save his life. So it's gonna be, it's just going to be hijinks, and that's what Dr. Stone does the worst at. Hijinks is what Dr. Stone to me fell at miserably. When it gets serious and it gets sciencey and it gets I don't want to say plot heavy, but when it focus on the plot instead of all its hijinks and funny faces and laughing hardness, when it's serious, it's the best. One of the best shows, to be honest. One of the best new gen shows.
What I did like about this episode specifically, though, is that it gave me the difference between, Japanese citizenship versus American citizenship. Why do we have machine guns already?
Mm-hmm. But it kind of explained that too, right? He's slightly above Senku because he's slightly older. He's an adult
professional. He's an adult scientist. Yeah.
So,
but also we have the infrastructure for it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just like you said, we have the cornfields, that kind of stuff. There's a lot that we have already set up to make this a plausible thing.
Yeah.
In comparison to Japan, and also like you said, we're working with children versus an adult figure who did the same exact thing.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to forget that Senku is 15. Technically like 3015, but whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's very. It's again when Dr. Stone gets serious, it's fun, man. Like when he put him in that vat of stuff so he can gauge it. Like put him in, made him basically attached to a lie detector. Was so good, and the way they explained it, and it was brilliant. It was just brilliant. Again, that's what Dr. Stone does the best, and I enjoy it when it's in that bag, that serious moment.
It didn't over explain it, didn't make it overstay its welcome. It was such a good moment, even.
Brilliant.
Man.
Just absolutely perfect.
I'm excited for more of Dr. Stone.
Gut check though. What you think is coming with Taiju being perceived as a scientist?
I agree with you that telling them that Taiju is a scientist is wrong. And I don't know, but there's like a suspicion in my head that if they had said Senku, the scientists would have recognized Senku for some reason.
Nah. Because Senku he wasn't popping in the normal times, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but why wouldn't a professional scientist who is doing something similar to Senku not know, let's say specifically like his dad and like his last name, something like that is what I'm meaning. Is that like, for instance, he may know that, oh, your dad was the one who went to space. And
sure, but is his dad last name Senku?
I'm not exactly sure.
Or whatever his last name is.
It might be Ishigami, you know what I mean?
That's a good. Oh, his first name is Senku. His last name is Ishigami.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the character list to see if I can find his father.
Yeah, it's not on the original one. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good point though. He could recognize his father. I just love the fact that it's easy to watch because it's dubbed too. And dub voice is great. Speaking of dub voices, I kind of wanted to mention this in the first half of the show, but Solo Leveling, for the first time I watched a Solo Leveling dubbed episode, the dubbed might actually be better than the subbed.
I would believe it.
Like, they're adding shit that was in the manga that wasn't in the show, the Japanese version. Like, I'm blown back at how good it was. Actually, so I might rewatch the whole thing dubbed again. Still watch it subbed, obviously, with the catch up because I can't fucking wait till next week. But I digress. Anyway, sorry.
I'm gonna check it out too. Yeah. Senku's dad has the same last name, Ishigami.
Okay, so
Byakuya Ishigami.
So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right because he has to know that he was in space and he has to be thinking about it, right? Because he's obviously a scientist and he's smart. Like, what happened to the people that was in space? You know, so
right.
So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. But like, it could have been Tsukasa.
It could have been.
It could have been literally somebody capable of even lying, because Taiju can't lie.
Taiju's not gonna lie, but it's not to say he's not capable. He's just not capable of the things that we need as a plot device, so to speak. But
again, the mentalist he does do things 10 steps ahead of others. So maybe this is we don't see the vision. To Senku. So, but this is somebody who's smarter than Senku technically, but I digress. Anyway, yeah, he's maybe 10 steps ahead for a reason. So we shall see. I do like the dub to Dr. Stone though. This is the first time I heard it, and I'm like, oh, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Blue Box, not Blue Lock.
Not Blue Lock. Now, Polow, how you feeling about this one?
Absolutely phenomenal. This is one of, again, we talked about this multiple times, but there's an atypical be usual story when it comes to romance, right? Romance anime. Boy likes girl, boy gets nervous around girl, etc., etc., etc. The reasoning behind why he won't confess and everything that's going on with Hina now. Hina confessing to him, and she's like, I'm not going back down. And her talking to Chinatsu and telling her, look, I told him I like him. I don't know what that means yet. And now Chinatsu already thought that they were together. So now that she kind of is getting a clearer picture and understanding that they're not together, maybe this is opening up some things, because 2 episodes ago when they got reined in, we saw her kind of like developing feelings for him because of just who he is. Taiki is just a great dude. So this is becoming more than the sum of its parts now, and I'm very intrigued because now Chinatsu is starting to recognize some type of feeling. Finally,
it was that conversation that she was having with the guy. I can't remember exactly which guy. Was it Kingo? But she was having a conversation with the other guy.
The senior, right?
Yeah. He was talking about how he's only able to focus on this, and he's not aware of like basically how his focus is leading him to like let go of other things.
Sorry. Redhead is Kingo. You was right. Sorry.
So I'm interested in that conversation that they had because it may lead her to try and open up that realm for him. Do you think that's gonna happen?
Giving him some water, basically. Metaphorically,
that's literally kind of like what he was saying, is that like he's not hydrating because he's so focused on the goal. And that's literally what you said water on purpose because that's what he said.
Yeah.
But that's literally what it is that's the metaphor, is that she could be his relationship. Things outside of his straightforward goal could be the hydration he needs to keep going forward.
Yeah.
And him telling her that, confidence. Yeah, him telling her that can be a catalyst for change in the show. And I'm hoping that and I can almost see it as a double-edged sword because saying that and then also seeing how he responds to Hina Chono, basically Hina, how he responds to Hina, and even she's her out.
She's knocking on that door.
I'm telling you.
Because you remember in this episode, it was two situations. Hina was like, listen, I'm gonna come see you perform. I want to see the guy I loved when he's trying his hardest. Boom. Knocking on the door. Then Chinatsu basically says the same thing, but I'm gonna root for my buddy. Friend zone. Right. So that kind of put some shit in his head, like, okay, well, y'all don't need to come because this is just a practice. So he's like kind of like just underselling it, but he has to feel.
Literally said, don't forget, I love you. You mean you keep telling me this is the second time,
and you see her, and she's pretty, and it's like now he's second guessing because like I'm getting friend zone. Yeah. I'm basically getting that line drawn, essentially again. While this girl who I told I'm still in love with Chinatsu, who I told that to, is still trying to win me over, and I think it's working, especially after that whole the Snow White thing and the possible kissing part.
Yeah, bro.
And how he felt. She's like, but I bet I made your heart skip a beat. He's like, fuck. So
yes, sir.
I think this confliction is what's making it hard for him to focus on his true goal, which is beating Yusa. His true goal is to beat Yusa because he can't get his mind right, essentially, because it's literally he's conflicted right now. He's conflicted as shit, which is not allowing him to see that he's getting better, which is not allowing him to then get the confidence he needs to be better in order to fight Yusa. It's all like you said, a double-edged sword, a domino effect. But I do think, and I'm gonna call it Turning Point Part 2 is coming. And the Turning Point Part 2 is maybe him finally saying something to Natsu. I don't think it's going to be her, but I think he's going to take the courage that Hina did with him and use it for Chinatsu. That's where my head is at.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I think we're about to see a heartbroken Chinatsu.
You think he's going to date Hina?
I don't even know if it's going to be that. I just think that Hina is going to take a step and it's going to go further.
And she's going to witness it.
Yeah, it's going to be like that kiss or something. Because they mentioned it. They don't mention that for no reason. They don't mention that for no reason, bro.
Wait. So take this then. Take this. I'm about to draw it. I'm about to storyboard it. I'm about to fucking, Zenshu it for you. He practices. He goes to practice to fight Yusa. He fucking goes his hardest because he got Hina and Chinatsu cheering him on. He gets zoned in. He gets locked in. He win the same way he lost to Yutsa, and he fucking screams, yeah, and he gets so hyped. And Hina runs up to him, gives him a big hug and a big kiss in front of Chinatsu, because she know that with Chinatsu there, this is her opportunity to take that step. What if she just runs and just let it all out? Boom, kiss
Body
him.
bag.
Ooh, that'll be turning point 2.
It will be. That'd be insane.
Sheesh.
Oh, Chinatsu will be heartbroken. I don't want her to be heartbroken, but hey, look, I'm kind of on Team Hina right now.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I like the decisiveness.
Taki is gonna fucking lose it. He's either gonna be upset and yell at Hina for it, and then Chinatsu is gonna run away after she sees it, and he's gonna chase after her. I'm writing. I'm in the room right now. It's going crazy, and he's gonna chase after her, and then he tells her the truth. Like, she confessed to me, I turned her down because I am actually in love with you. Ooh, that's the best of both worlds. It's best of Taylor and Polow's theories.
The only issue is Polow, that's too straightforward. These is children,
good point. And it's 25 episodes deep. We only in 19, so we got too much left.
Oh man, I would die. That would be perfect.
That would be fire. That would be a fucking fight, because it'll get messy too. And you know,
real quick.
You know I am about the mess.
A little bit of mess, sprinkle of mess in there.
Gotta add a little mess. All right, let's move on to the last but not least. The best show this season, and it's not even close to, well, outside of returning, Apothecary Diaries being the best. Gotta throw that caveat in.
Returning ReZero in 2 days. And
oh my hours. God, 2 days and 4 hours. ReZero's back this week. Next week we're gonna be talking about ReZero. Okay, anyway. Honey Lemon Soda. Another great romance that I'm absolutely in love with. Now, I'm going to bring in a great friend of ours, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very important that we bring her theories into this, because we got in this episode, the very beginning of this episode, we got Blondie, that's what we decided to call him. Blondie's best friend, essentially, basically telling her, like, listen, you're getting too close to him. Because you're getting too close to him, I don't know, something bad might happen. Are you even better for this? Should you be this close to him? Basically telling her to essentially don't get too close to him. Kind of don't stay away, but kind of stay away. And our girl Crystal, she says she has a theory.
Okay.
So she said she has a few possible things. She says, one, let me get my glasses so I can actually see what I'm reading here, and not sound like I need hooked on phonics. She says, so my theory is a few possible things. I think he confronted her because he's jealous of Blondie. How specifically, I don't know yet. But when he made that face at the end, when they were looking at the picture of Blondie smiling with her, with our girl, that's where I suspected something. So she's referring to at the beginning when he chastised her, and then at the end when he was smiling, seeing her, or whatever the case may be. He's like, that's when I suspected something. And she says, two, it also could be a weird way of saying I'm trying to protect my friend thing. He could be the best friend since day one and seen all the things that Blondie had to deal with. So he just doesn't want to see him go through that again, especially now that the redhead appeared. And then left field, but a trope could be that he has feelings for old girl and wants her to get away from Blondie. Not the right way, but not the right way to do it, obviously. Now, her left field one, possible, unlikely. I do think theory 2 is absolutely correct. I do think that he's like, this is the second time I seen Blondie, or my best friend, get close to a girl. The first time he did it was obviously the redhead girl that they just introduced at the end of this episode.
Right.
And it went bad. It went poor somehow, to the point where he had to dye his hair for change, and he decided not to get close to any girl, essentially. That theory is I mean, Crystal's pen working, and she watches a lot of Slice of Life too. Probably just as much as me.
Yeah, so we know that when people do something like that, like change their hair color, a lot of times it's some kind of like psychological shift. Yeah, they're trying to change who they are. And that could be the case, you know what I mean? And I do like the idea because I initially also, so my wife thought, she's watching this one with me and she's loving Honey Lemon Soda because she sees herself in this show.
That's why I'm like, you got to get her to watch it with you.
But she immediately thought dude likes her, that the friend likes her.
So the left field.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I also see some wariness, right? Where it's like, I agree with the idea that he could be protecting both of them. Look, when he's in a relationship, he takes it super serious. And this is the kind of person he is when he takes it super serious. It's going to affect you and it's going to affect him. And that tends to be that thing where like he takes it so serious, maybe he isolates himself. Maybe he isolates her because he wants to, and not to say, what was that one anime we watched where dude was like almost like narcissistically
love, Condition Called Love.
Yeah, Condition Called Love, where he was almost like ridiculously overbearingly jealous and stuff like that. It could be a situation like that, but in a different scenario, right? Because what was the reason where he felt like he had to, like, why did they break up? We don't know quite yet. But
she still had his picture, the redhead girl.
Yeah, if it caused that much of a shift, then it had to be something serious. And they keep hinting at this relationship because in the previous episode they hinted at, well, you've done that before with a girl, right? And he has.
He's just like, shut up.
Right. So it could be a sore spot for him still, like we were talking about. He could even still have feelings for that girl, and it not be and that's why he doesn't show any respect, not necessarily respect, but any emotion or attention to girls.
Yeah. No, valid. What I saw, I didn't see jealousy. Honestly, I was suspecting him liking our girl too. The reason why I did is because 2 episodes ago when he mentioned she is cute. But then when Blondie looked at him, he's like, oh no, I think all girls are cute. Like he stopped him and kind of like made it a play on whatever. So
he also did say that she's not his type. He said that too in a previous episode.
That's exactly where I was going next. So because he said that, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe not. And then maybe it's the, I'm trying to protect my friend. I do think it's I'm trying to protect my friend joint though. Really. I can't wait to see what this show does extremely well, is it fucking progresses.
It does.
It not only progresses with the overarching story, but it progresses with the characters. Each character is progressing in different ways. Right, we didn't think 2 episodes ago that the dude with the black hair would do what he did, and then the following episode after that, we didn't think that at all. But it was a reason for that. It progressed, and then the whole getting the classroom lost and the girl confessing and apologizing to what she did to her, it progressed. The classroom started to appreciate who she is and see her for her. It's progressed. It's progressing quickly, very, very quickly.
There's even subtle progression because like we even get things where it's like he tells her why he wears a hat all the time.
Yeah.
And why no one else knows that. And he bumps her in the episode after that. Hey, don't tell anybody. You're the only person who knows that. And yeah, she doesn't necessarily take it extremely well because she's like, wait, I thought everybody knew that, and that kind of stuff. But it progresses their relationship even in the small steps that it gets. It has so many different parallels of progression, which is actually extremely cool.
Yeah. It's a top tier show this season. One of the best for sure. I mean, it's like, again, it's and call me crazy. I'm a slice of life guy. So again, remember when you hear me say this, Polow is the slice of life guy. But I do think it's on par so far with Apothecary Diaries. Like I'm enjoying it just as much as I'm enjoying Apothecary Diaries. I look forward to watching this every week. I get excited when I see the notification pop up on my AnyList that it's on and I gotta watch it. Like I gotta watch it immediately. Like that's just how I feel about it right now. It's just that good to me. It's really, 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 really good to me. So
we love this show.
Honey Lemon Soda, I'm absolutely loving it. But I'm at Polow Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
You can follow our twitch.tv/Mic Check Waifu or follow us at twitch.tv/Mic Check Waifu and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.miccheckwaifu.com. Join the discord.miccheckwaifu.com. We appreciate you, and as always, Mic Check.
Body move.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?